decent little spot to start with. Nice myledaphus, theropod, caudal vertebrae, partial toe claw, turtle, more turtle, champsosaur, hadrosaur vertebrae. Really nice, pretty sure fish vertebrae. Decent little Gorgosaurus or Daspletosaurus tooth. Those are the two present in the Dinosaur Park formation. Not bad. Missing a decent amount of the enamel. It's okay condition. Kind of see the serrations. They're kind of busted. But still, not a bad tooth. Nice and chunky. Yeah. And then, yeah, the neural arches. Yeah, it's really cool. So, used to be some vertebrae here. And lots of chunks all in this layer. Something going on here. Huh. Yeah, all bone. Very cool. Okay, just looking at a new spot here. And a really nice Tyrannosaur tooth tip. Pretty good with some Cretaceous wear on it. So that's awesome. It looks like Cretaceous break as well. Because this isn't really shiny. It's kind of smoothed out. So either it's been exposed for a while, but usually that means it's Cretaceous break. And then over here, you've got this little tiny raptor frontal maxillary tooth, which is pretty cool. Yeah, pretty sweet. So he can go right there so I don't lose him. Same with you. And then over here, an awesome Tyrannosaur, so Gorgosaur or Daspletosaur again, tooth. Really nice, really pretty as well. Nice and complete. Can't complain with that. That's awesome. Few pieces of bone along here. Kind of neat. And that also is... Almost looks ceratopsian-like. That's a little strange. Another nice champsosaur vertebrae. And then a few of the oddities, probably hunk of vertebrae here. A few other pieces of stuff, some in situ. Oh, nice. Look at that. Nice myledaphus tooth, though. Those are sweet. Very cool. Ah! Get a better shot of that. Yeah, real nice. Really nice myledaphus tooth. A few more nice things. We got a little crocodile tooth in the lower left. And then this here, this is going to kind of be stupid to hold. So just hang on. Is a little fish scale, but it's got a hole in it. And I'm wondering if that's maybe parasitism. Could be interesting. And then a little theropod vertebrae in the middle there. And then the same myledaphus tooth and champsosaur vertebrae. But yeah, that could be really interesting. Pretty good jumble of fossils. Nice crocodile tooth, myledaphus. A few champsosaurs. Turtle. Some random stuff. Crocodile. Hadrosaur. And yeah, nice, really nice toe bone if it wasn't missing the front end, so that sucks. But so though, a few neat things, especially this croc tooth. Awesome. You can just never find too many champsosaur vertebrae. My goodness. There's so many. I just found another one right back over there. But yeah. Kind of the classic. It's something. Trying to be anyway. Yeah, lots of chunks of stuff. Nothing that... Well, hold on. Oh man, you know how much I thought that was a tooth? Nope. Just a hunk of fossil. That's okay. Yeah, lots of nice chunks of bone. Partial vertebrae. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's all theropod bone. Yeah, nice, really dense and hollow in the middle. Some in situ, and that looks like just some ironstone filler inside the hollowness. That's not fossil, but kind of just a cool little rock. Yeah. Lots of neat stuff, especially that vertebrae. Already lots of good pieces. Some just kind of random stuff. I think I actually stepped on this, so a lot of it embedded itself. But a little tiny piece of croc, some turtle as well, which is nice. Some random bones, lots of pieces. This one actually shows the porous structure of the dinosaur bone very well, which is pretty cool. Looking for bite marks, of course. Find those on little chunks all the time. And over here, nice piece of turtle. I'm gonna say that this is turtle. It's kind of trying to be croc, but it's definitely more turtle-like. So that's pretty cool, these two. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. 2 Tyrannosaur vertebrae. Sweet. That's kind of funny. Right beside each other. What is this? Looks like a little piece of turtle. This is a little piece of hadrosaur tooth. Right here. Turtle. Partial crocvert? Yeah, I think so. You know what you are. Petrified wood. Piece of bone. Piece of bone. Oh, like a big chunk of turtle. Boom. Yep. You can usually tell turtle because you'll see this a lot of the time. They get like this kind of like little flange structure. And sometimes you actually see like the little rib coming out here. But of course you flip it over. You see that texturing. And that's your telltale sign. Yeah, lots of stuff. It's more petrified wood. Very cool. Turtle. You can also see like these like suture lines. These are pretty indicative of turtle as well. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Piece of garbled bone. All sorts of stuff. What are you? Nothing. Okay. Keep sifting. Starting to see a bit more stuff again. This is just a wild rock. Some really weird geology. I've got no idea, but I've never seen a rock this green. It's probably just extraformational glass or probably glacial till, but lots of bone here, starting to pick up again. Starting to see some more fossils again. Right here. A little hadrosaur caudal vertebrae, most likely. And it's longer than it is wide, so that means it's probably lower caudal or distal, you'd call it. Some theropod bone. Vertebrae that's been sitting here for a while. Awesome. Pretty cool. Pretty sick texture too. And then like a really degraded chunk of turtle. You can see that wavy pattern. Where was... There it is. Ceratopsian tooth. Oh, ceratopsian tooth root. And then partial crown on it. We got a pretty good ankylosaur tooth right here. So we'll definitely be collecting that. There was a few other things. Fish scale right there. Then another good gar scale. Nice blade-like, diamond-shaped. Pretty awesome, but this ankylosaur tooth is sweet. So yeah, we will... Good wear on those things. Nice. Cool. Yeah, we got some nice crocodile, raptor teeth, myledaphus teeth, which is like a prehistoric guitar fish. Might be a couple different types of raptor in here. I'm not really too sure how to tell types apart. Couple tooth parts, just a little theropod bone, gar scales, hadrosaur parts. This is a hadrosaur tooth root. So pretty gnarly. It looks like the whole thing, pretty much. Really nice ceratopsian tooth. That boy's awesome. Really cool colors, really cool wear on it too. Ceratopsian tooth, partial root. This might be Tyrannosaur tooth, just really weird. I don't know. It's a little strange. Might just be a hunk of fossil. Not too sure. And then crocodile chunk. Oh, yeah. Awesome. Oh, and jaw pieces. See the two sockets? Yeah, pretty cool. Nice. I've seen some pretty big Tyrannosaur vertebrae, but these are pretty big. Pretty nice. Looks like a Tyrannosaur piece. Might be scapula, not too sure. Pretty cool. Pretty big hadrosaur fossil. Nice. The captain.
Same level.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Must be like a hadrosaur megabone bed or something.
Maybe. Because, yeah, there's bits kind of coming out everywhere along here.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I saw this and I went, well, saw that from a mile away.
Yeah.
Okay, few good things so far. A very nice ornithomimid, pretty sure toe claw. So that is awesome. Of course, I forgot my micro lens, so sorry. I gotta struggle here for a minute. But awesome toe claw. Just missing the very, very tip, but that's pretty standard. But pretty much entirely complete. So that's awesome. Very nice crocodile scoop right here. That's super cool. Tons of bones too, like just all over. Some chunks here. And then some in situ pieces. Really nice in situ turtle. So unfortunately we can't collect that because it's in situ. But and then right here, I thought this was pretty funny. I've tried not to step in it, but looks like someone was digging here. But this is coyotes, and sometimes deer will even do this as well. And they will find a place where there's kind of nice, like this is really soft dirt. And they'll find a place when it's hot where there's nice soft dirt, and they'll kind of rut in it, and then they can lay in it, roll in it, stuff like that. Helps keep them cool, and a few other things. And you can see a bunch of little footprints. But when they did that, they obviously just launched a ton of chunks of fossil everywhere around here, which is super funny. Some of them are not bad. There was somewhere around here, there was a partial crocodile vert. It was very, very partial. It wasn't anything really nice, but the centrum was there. But yeah, there's lots of stuff. Lots of crocodile pieces around here, which is nice. More pieces of fossil along here. Yeah, and then over here, there's a few. It's a partial vertebrae. It's very degraded though. Preservation was not great on that. And then I'm assuming this was once a vertebrae. Yeah, you can still see some of the porous structure. But yeah, that one's pretty beat up. A few pieces there and there. So not bad. Yeah, a few things around here, which is all right. Not too bad. Yeah, lots of surface fossils here, which is really awesome. Really cool, especially that toe claw there. I still gotta get that all wrapped up. But yeah, I think just kind of sitting here, and I feel like now is the best time to talk about it. But a lot of people ask me, you know, like, how do you get into fossil hunting? Or they want to get into fossil hunting, and they ask, like, what are the best ways I should go about it? What should I get, you know, gear and stuff like that. I always recommend, like, I think anyone doing anything outside, oh sorry, just really cool piece of turtle. If you're kind of just doing, like, I think there's kind of different ways you can go about fossil hunting. You can be the person that kind of, like, you know, maybe does it once a year with a buddy, or, you know, maybe you just want to try it once, just bucket list thing, you want to find a fossil. Or, you know, you're a person like me, like, where you're doing this a lot. And for me, it's more than just like a hobby. It's an escape for me. So depending on where you are in kind of those three tiers is like what should define what you get for gear. If you're like me, you're really wanting to get into it, just basic stuff like get a compass, GPS. Like your phone GPS is pretty good, but if you actually want to be a good amateur fossil collector and hunter, and like, you know, to find stuff for museums that might be important, if you're not giving good coordinates, or you just find a fossil that ends up being important and you don't have good coordinates or no coordinates at all, it's useless. Like, it doesn't matter. So you want to be very vigilant about those things, looking for that sort of stuff. Good backpack, water, obviously. Like that's really basic, rudimentary stuff. I have those microfossil sheets, which I think are really good. And then those have like a little 10 centimeter scale bar on them. So there's that as well. I think that sort of stuff is important. Again, you can just tell size, and then it's easy. So let's say you do find something and, you know, you want to send pictures to the Tyrell or the Ram or wherever you are, whether you're in Alberta or, you know, Ontario, it doesn't matter. You can send pictures, and then the scale is there so they know the size. And then you can also put where it was found, the GPS coordinates, things like that. That stuff goes a long way for researchers. So those are a few things. And you also just have to kind of like be mentally in it. I think it's similar in a way to fishing, where you can fish and you can find nothing, but sometimes finding nothing is just as important as finding something. In areas where you find nothing, that's can be really important, because I can tell you, okay, maybe there wasn't, you know, this isn't good fossil preservation area. Maybe this area is polluted by a lot of glacial till, things like that. You have like that search image that you could create in your brain for finding fossils. Fossil hunting is, like, again, like fishing. It's all a lot of luck, but you do everything in your power to increase your chances. A few decent things in this spot. Obviously the ornithomima toe claw. Nice turtle. Really nice piece of turtle here, actually. Partial crocodile tooth. Maybe partial crocodile jaw. You can see the scales. Maybe, but some sort of crocodile. Nice croc scoot. 2 ceratopsian spitters with some root. Ankylosaur spitter. And metatarsal end off of a theropod. Awesome. Lots more fossil around here. Lots of nice big chunks. Nice centrum here left over from a vertebrae. It's pretty awesome. Lots of in situ pieces along here. Sorts of stuff. Yeah, chunks just everywhere pouring out. A few more over here. Here as well. A really degraded centrum. Partial, or maybe the whole thing, it's hard to say, metatarsal sticking out, I believe. Theropod, most likely. Some plant litter in there, some peat. That was once a vertebrae. Yeah, lots of stuff pouring out of this layer, and then a lot of the other fossils were along here as well. There's some more. And along here. They're pretty good. Lots of chunks. Yeah, a few more pieces here as well. Pretty cool. Just lots more chunks of fossil, some tendon, some crocodile, all sorts of stuff. Just all over in this layer. Really good layer. Turtle. Yeah. Pretty cool though. Cute little guy. There's a little hadrosaur spitter, I'm pretty sure. Oh, maybe ceratopsian. Hard to say sometimes. Yeah. Not bad. Another real nice larger fossil. It might be ex situ. I feel like it's coming out of this contact, and you can see a bunch of pieces up there. And then there's this as well. Nice partial ungual, probably hadrosaur. Pretty confident on that. Missing this side, unfortunately, but still pretty cool. Couple pieces of crocodile jaw. You can see the tooth sockets, and then that texturing the pitting. Same with here. This one doesn't show it as much, but this one you get a better idea. This one's a really cool piece though. That's pretty sweet. just finished looking at this decent microsite. Pretty good amount of stuff. Nothing crazy, like not a lot of like teeth or anything. There's a few ceratopsian and hadrosaur, but looking over there and all that formation's really cool. So I'm gonna start heading over that way and see what it holds. Just about to move to the next spot, but here is an awesome raptor tooth. Grab that boy. Yeah, that's sweet. Flip him over. Nice. Yeah, that formation is really cool along here. That's super awesome. Kind of see the old man layer, which I'm actually standing on right now. But that's the old man layer, and it just causes the weirdest stuff to happen. Especially makes really cool caves, so looks like there's almost some over there. Lands. It's literally just a crab trap. Okay, this is pretty stupid. Look at this. Oh my goodness. It probably goes 20 meters down. And if you fell in, you wouldn't get out. Yeah, it's some pretty cool formation. Like, actually just really insane formation. And these hoodoos have been here for a long time. They're really old and bladed, which is super cool. Fossils are a little bare around here, but I think it's just because it washes so much. The whole valley, or the whole flat top, just pours out into here. So I'd hate to be in here when it started raining, because holy. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Hopefully there's some fossils around here, if not over there. Pretty cool bird nest, kind of made into this old man layer, or old man contact in between the Dinosaur Park, which would sit above, and then old man's now below. Super cool, nice and sheltered. Really cool hoodoos and stuff. Not much for fossils in this, which is kind of typical, but it's just cool, really. I mean, the formation around here is wild.
What level are you at?
Right here, if you can see me.
I saw you before, but I can't see you right now. Let me look again.
Look at this, oh. Yeah, this boy's a monster. Holy. Yeah, huge. That would have been cool to see. There's 1,000 pieces of it here, but yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, it's a little crazy. That is really weird. Yo, where'd your limbs go? Oh. Yeah, you're a nice elk. Yeah. And that's so weird. I don't know what he did. Like, just weirdly non-typical, I guess. Nicely bladed, though. Yeah. Crazy. Alright, Captain. Tell us.
Okay, so the different layers in the Badlands represent different types of environments. So most of the layers here are deposited in fluvial environments, so river environments, but not all fluvial environments are the same. So some of them are lower energy environments, like this ironstone here, or the silty mudstone below it. And some of them are... And the massive sandstones represent high energy environments.
Yeah, you should be alright.
It's quite deep.
Yeah. Really? Yeah, that's an unbelievably nice tooth. Awesome Cretaceous wear. Really cool creamsicle color. And it's got that bite mark on it from itself, most likely, with the serration lines. That's so cool. And really intact, too. Really nice shed, not break tooth. Awesome.